What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jay coming back again with another stream. Tonight, I got my boy Franklin from the Franklin Crocker Show with us tonight.
It's good. What ya?
Shout out to all you guys, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since Franklin's been on the show. Actually, last stream we were it was a Super Bowl stream, that
Very well
9 hour
said, yeah.
stream. So shout out to Franklin for being back with us tonight. Chill night. We're just gonna get into the predictions. Heat versus Celtics, game 5. Can the Celtics make history? That is the question tonight. That has been the question that everybody has been asking me. I made a video earlier about how I do think that they will do it, but we'll do a little bit more of a deep dive into that, as well as get into the spread, the odds, and the bets. I want to start off by giving a quick shout out to the Wrench Gang, shout out to the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. Obviously, make sure you guys smash that like, that thumbs up, and subscribe if you have not already. Turn on your notifications. Lock it in for myself as well as Mr. Franklin from the Franklin Crocker Show. All right. What's up, Daniel? What's going on with you, Ronald? Early Wrench Gang in the house. Shout out to all you guys. All right, so let's get into it. Let's start off just from the direction of how the series has went, right? I think one of the biggest problems is everyone expected the Heat to just steamroll the Celtics, which they did, right? If you look at the opportunities that Boston squandered in the first 3 games, it really makes you wonder, what the narrative was and how it basically changed from a coaching point of view in regards to getting the team back in order. Now, some would say that the chemistry that the Celtics coach has at this point is going to take time to build, and he's doing as much as he can. But I still say this: I'm not going to blame talent not being at its greatest on the coach. I'm blaming the talent on the talent. I think that's where we should start. What do you think, Franklin?
Well, it's funny that you say that. So I think, again, I don't know if you remember, after losing game 3, the coach said he blames himself.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a little bit narcissistic because you can't blame yourself for your team losing. Again, it's a team effort. You can't. So again, the reason I'm saying this is you can't take all the credit when you guys win, and you still can't take all the credit when you lose. It's still a team effort. So again, when you win, it's a team effort. When you lose, it's still a team effort. Him saying it's on him, I think, is a bad thing to do. Be honest with you, real talk, I actually thought Jimmy Butler was going to get another coach fired by sweeping the Celtics and getting him fired as well, as he's done with the Bucks. I thought he's going to go for another sweep and with two L's, but 2 coaches getting fired because of him. But it didn't happen. It is what it is.
I agree with that. I agree with that. I figured the same thing happened even with Doc Rivers, right? This man has been in the finals how many years? Or gotten at least close to the finals how many years?
Yeah, a lot.
And he gets fired.
He lost 10 game 7s. 10.
Right? So how many coaches have made 10 game 7s?
That's true. That's a true story too. Now, I don't get the problem is this. This coach for the Celtics is going to get a lot of criticism. He's young. He's 34 years old, man. Like LeBron James is older than this guy. He's 34. So, and he's never played in the NBA as well either, I don't believe, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think he ever played in the NBA. So, therefore, you're going to get criticism just off of your age, and you've never played in the league, but you're coaching these guys as if you've been in their shoes. You haven't been in their shoes before. It's a very tough situation to be in. Now, and on top of that, you have a very talented team. I mean, it's not like you probably have, on paper, the best team in the league.
So
what's your starting five? By far.
Some backstory. He's 34 years old. He's from Johnston, Rhode Island. He went to high school at Bishop Hedrickon, that's in Rhode Island.
Okay.
He went to college in West Virginia, undrafted in 2011. He went undrafted.
So he did. Okay, so he did make the NBA. Okay.
So he played for. Hold on, let me see here.
G League. You can't even find it.
It's not coming up. It just says he went.
He might have played. I don't think he played it all in the league, man.
No,
he might have been like the water boy.
No, okay. Here it is. He was hired as an assistant for Fairmont State. During the 2016-2017 season, Mazzulla served as an assistant for the Maine Red Claws of the NBA G League. He was named head coach of Fairmount State in March 2017. In his second season, Missoula led the team to a 22-9 record in appearance in the 2019 NCAA Division II tournament, where they lost in the final round to the Mercyhurst 63-6 in overtime. And then in Boston, June 2019, Missoula was hired as the assistant coach for the Boston Celtics. Obviously, the Ime Udoka situation happened, and then all right, now we have him as the coach.
So
So
he
yeah,
never played.
he doesn't really have any true experience in the
No,
NBA.
you could have picked me off the bench. They could have called me up. I got a better chance, just as good a chance as winning the championship as this dude. Real
Right?
talk.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. It's really, it's kind of funny. It reminds me of the time, that time where you didn't have the experience for the job, and you just put it on a resume.
Fake it until you make it.
You
That's what he did.
fake it till you make it. Right? He definitely faked it till he made it. So, just like what you said, you can't take the credit for the wins, and you can't take the credit for the losses. He basically just has to state that, hey, I'm doing the best job that I can to get these guys in order so that they can go out there and win. Ultimately, the coaches, their aspect of the game and how they coach the players through it is looking at their talents and how they can best use them. Now, obviously, if you've got someone who hasn't really played the game and maybe kind of new to these specific talents, he's not going to have the full understanding as far as how to execute properly when it comes to those people. So therefore, you're still relying on your veterans to sit there and actually do the coaching for him while being on the floor. So that's going to be the biggest issue that most people are going to have when you're in that situation and you don't have any idea as far as what you're doing as an actual coach of an elite team and elite talent.
I agree. I agree. I agree. Also, to add to what you're saying, me personally, again, I'm just as much of a coach as he is at this point. We got the same credentials, basically. Game 3, when they're getting their ass whooped, I would have kept every single last starter in the game.
Oh yeah.
Every single last one of them. I would have never took them out because if you look at their energy, everything's about energy.
Mm-hmm.
Their energy wasn't there. And I need you guys to pick again. You need to pick up that momentum, even with because again they put the second string in for Miami. I need y'all to go out here and beat the second string up. If you can't do that, we got a problem.
Yeah.
I would have took my starters out. Now, granted, you'd have been pushing. Okay, the health issues or whatever. Somebody get hurt. I don't care at this point. I need y'all to go into game 4, and they did it anyway. I need y'all to go into game 4 with some energy because that ended that game 3, third quarter. They were done, dog. They were defeated. You can look at everybody's face. They were defeated.
Well, and that was a big problem too. Even when they went into game 4 in the beginning, right? They weren't playing in sync. They had no chemistry, and it really took a long time for. Now, granted, Al Horford stepped up, right? Everyone's been kind of like shying him off in these finals or these conference finals, and finally, Al Horford steps up and takes that leadership role that we would expect him to have, right? He's one of the oldest players on the team, so him coming out with those threes basically set the tone. Where I kind of knew I was like, all right. Al Horford's gonna, he's gonna ball tonight. He's gonna make sure, or at least try to help out to the point where they can maybe have an edge and come back and win this thing. But here's my biggest thing too. Looking at game 4, how many shots did Jaylen Brown miss? Ooh. Foul shots. Listen, I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. He didn't just miss the foul shots. It was bad. It was just terrible shots. And it's like, okay, you could take a miss. But when they're hitting the front of the rim, it's almost like, what's going on? Have you been in the gym practicing lately? Like, what's really happening here? So
and you ain't tired because you took 2 quarters off the last game, so you ain't that tired.
Exactly. You can't blame it on fatigue. I kind of have to guess in his mind, did he think it was over, right? And then here comes the third quarter. Well, let me go ahead and put it in overdrive now because we have a chance of winning. Right, you kind of have to look at things in the balances, even from a player point. I mean, I play ball. I understand you get to those points in the game where you feel down and you might want to give up because you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But at the same time, at an all-star level, you can't play like that. That's not what you get paid those millions for.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and jump on Jimmy Butler a little bit right now too. Jimmy Buckets has been killing these boys. He's been serving somebody else. However, that
Yes.
last game 4, if I was Jimmy Buckets, I would have went out there and tried to scorch these boys, and he didn't do that. It's like he had the passion. I know he's a little tired, but I would have went out there and scorched these boys because I would have had 9 days to rest before the championship game.
Yes.
Now you got to play again. Now you can't rest. I would have went out there and tried to scorch these. I would have tried to get these guys 40 to 50 just because I could, and I would have set history up because again, on 4. I mean, you sweep this Boston Celtics, and you're the 8th seed. I mean, that's unheard of.
Well, there was 2 things that was obviously mentioned when it comes to history being made and history not being made, right? So no 2 teams have ever been swept in a conference finals, right?
I would have loved to see that.
I would have loved to see it. That would have been history made, right? Unfortunately, fortunately for some people, it didn't happen. So now on the other side of the spectrum, we have the Celtics that may be able to make history. They may be able to be the first team that was down 0-3 to come back and win 4 in a row and go to the championship. Is it going to be easy? Hell no. It's going to be very difficult. First, you got to beat Miami at home. Then you got to go back down to Miami. I'm sorry, you got to beat Boston. You got to beat Miami in your home. Then you got to go back down to Miami and do it again, which you will probably have the momentum at that time. But then you got to come back to Boston and finish them off. So yes, it's going to be very difficult. Can they do it? Yes, they can. But let's look at some stats. Let's get into some stats here real quick. And I'm just gonna pull this up. It's really, really interesting when we look at these stats here. Let me get this in here. So what do we got? We have Mr. Jimmy Butler averaging 38 minutes, 26 points, 2.3 on the offensive rebounds, 5.3 in the defensive rebounds. He's averaging 7.5 rebounds a game, 6 assists, 3 steals, 0.8 blocks, 2.5 turnovers, which is huge, right? That's going to be a big thing. But for the most part, these are great stats. This is what you want your star player to basically have. Could it be a little bit better? Obviously. But if you notice, the Heat is running a great, solid offense in general. Look at everybody's scores or points. Yeah, Caleb Martin with 18.5. Vincent with 17.5. Adebayo with 16.3. Strus 11.3. Robinson coming off the bench with 9.8. Lowry with 6.8. So they have a great system in regards to their passing the ball. They're moving it around. They're getting great scoring. And they're playing defense. I mean, look at the rebounds. Adebayo, 8.3. Strus, 3.5. Lowry, 4.3. So they're making some consistency as far as defense goes, and they're playing solid offensively. It's just whether or not the Celtics are going to be able to keep up the energy that they have going into Game 5.
Let's give Spoelstra, let's give him a little bit of credit. Now, I know he's a puppet a little bit, but we know he's a puppet for my man, for Pat Riley. However, look at those stats you just put up for Martin and Vincent. These are 2 undrafted. Let me say that again. 2 undrafted players.
Yeah.
That are averaging 18.5 and 17.5 in the playoffs. The beautiful thing about that is there's not everybody has game film, but nobody game films these 2 guys because they weren't relevant enough before. Now they're relevant. You going forward now, if they win this series, going forward, Denver has to put some game plans behind these guys. These guys could score for you. I think Strauss, I think he's undrafted as well. Like, think about the coach in that perspective, man. Like, you're coaching undrafted players in a championship game. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, to even get to this point, you know, Spoelstra went through a lot. People don't remember that, right? Because you're only as good as your last game.
True.
So at the end of the day, most of the people don't realize everything that he went through. It was a struggle for Spoelstra for a while, even when he had LeBron there. You know, think about it. He wasn't the coach when LeBron was in Miami. LeBron was the coach. Everybody knows that. That was LeBron's team. So now after when LeBron left, you know, he was kind of like thinking that he was out of a job. This man was able to bounce back with the core team that he has with undrafted players, which is absolutely amazing.
Let me add one more to that. Haslam is taking up your 11th spot. He don't even play the game.
Doesn't
Like,
even
you have a
play.
player in the team that doesn't even get any run, and you're still doing what you're doing with only 10 players. He ain't doing it with 11, only 10. Haslam is not playing the game. Think about that, man. That's great.
Yeah, he's not even playing. He's sitting that bench,
Coaching behind the scenes. That's it.
coaching and eschewing for another ring.
That's all he's doing, man.
Quick shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family. Got Tennessee Tactical says Denver is resting right now. They're getting some good rest. That is for sure. Tony says, "Hi boys, what's up, Tony? How you
What
doing,
up, Tony?
Tony in the building." Ryan Berg says LeBron is overrated. Dude just got swept. Listen, we could veer off a little bit. We can get into
Let's get into that.
Yeah, let's get into LeBron. Let's get into your king. Let's get into your king. Let's actually
There was something on TikTok I seen. I wish I had it now. It was comparing LeBron James and Michael Jordan in the playoffs and championship games. There's no comparison, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan has never been swept in the playoffs, ever. Like, there's really no comparison. I mean, LeBron is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I give him credit. Now, does he control the league more than he should? Yes, because he does have an advantage in regards to having technically it's not his agency, but it is his agency, and he can maneuver players where he wants to maneuver them to. And I personally think your boy Draymond Green is going to the Lakers next year.
Ooh, that's a hot take. Draymond to the Lakers. You know what?
What's that?
I might be onto something, and I'll tell you why. Before we get back to LeBron, I think the chemistry between him and Jordan Poole is at a terrible time, and is creating strife and inner issues with the squad in general.
True story.
And to be honest, the Warriors spent so much money on Poole that they're not going to risk him, his talent, how much they're paying for Draymond, who's on his way out. So you might be onto something there.
And another clue. You don't tell or ask your coach, can you go to LA to see LeBron break the scoring record? Come on, man. Come on, man. No. That's the wrong thing to do. So therefore, it goes to show that they're boys enough to say, you know what, I want to be in your squad next year. I'm gonna kiss your ring, LeBron James. I want to be in the Lakers next year. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but I could be right too. Who knows?
You know what? You never know. You never know. And truth be told, that could shake things up. I mean, I don't really know how they would work him in the rotation, especially if you have LeBron, AD, and him in there. Once again, it's a power struggle. But Lakers are known to do just that, create weird power struggles, which is why they had such an issue when Russell Westbrook was there.
True story.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. But let's get back to this. LeBron James, greatest of all time. I'm going to ruffle some feathers. I'm going to make some people mad at me. But that's fine, right? We do hot takes all the time here. We have a good time. People get pissed off sometimes. And, hey, we have to work through it. LeBron James is not the GOAT.
No.
In my personal opinion, and I'm going to tell you why. All right? I have never seen Michael Jordan lose in a Game 7 and then immediately shut down at a podium when he's questioned about it. Let's actually find let's find this.
Don't find a clip. Oh, don't take it. Don't rewind it. Take press rewind if I haven't blown your mind. Ooh,
I gotta find it because here we go.
Well, let it play.
Let's see here. Let's get to it. Here we go.
Want to know what's absurd? Taco Tuesday is trademarked. Fortunately,
your hairline.
All right, here we go.
Last question.
Hey, Bron. Obviously, all-time scoring record, another season where you essentially defeat Father Time again. On a personal level, how would you evaluate the season that you had?
I don't know. I love to play the game.
I love to compete. I love to be out there for my guys, my teammates, wherever I have that particular year.
Listen to this. Wait a minute.
Wherever, hold on, did you say wherever that particular year?
Wait a minute. I love to play the game. I love but my teammates that just happen to be around that year. Are you kidding? See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Whoever's around that year, not, hey, I have a solid group of guys that I foreseen a future with, that I enjoyed building a dynasty with.
Whoever I handpicked that year, you might as well have said that.
Let's keep it going. This is.
I think it was special in the fact that having a first-year coach and a first-year coaching staff to be able to take them to the Western Conference Finals. I think that's dope for Coach Ham and his coaching staff going forward. That's pretty amazing. For me, I mean, it's all about availability for me and keeping my mind sharp and things of that nature. Being present on the floor, being present at, locker room and bus rides and plane rides, things of that nature.
There's so much filler, right? There's no strength and no confidence, even in a losing speech. Like, here's my thing: you can't be confident when you win and not confident when you lose. That's not what the greatest of all time does.
And I'm gonna tell you this: it's not a confident statement either. Present when I'm on the bus and present when I'm on the airplane. Yeah, you present, motherfucker. Yeah, you there. Okay, we know you there. But come on, man, you gotta have a stronger statement than that. Present on the plane and the bus.
Listen, shout out to Tennessee Tactical. Word salad. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's tossing it too.
That is exactly what it is. Because at the end of the day, you have to look at it. If someone is playing at an elite level, which LeBron still is, he still plays at an elite level. Your determination for the GOAT is someone that goes above and beyond, takes over the game, right? If you needed 40 to win, guess what? You should have got 50. That's going above and beyond. That's what the GOAT does. He takes the game over and wins and doesn't make an excuse for it. But hey, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
It's challenging. It's challenging, for sure. It was a very challenging season, for me, for our ball club. And obviously, we know we went on early on or whatever the case may be, but
shout out to you.
It was pretty cool ride. But I don't know.
It was a cool ride.
I don't know. I think it was okay. I don't like to say it's a successful year because I don't play for anything besides winning championships at this point in my career. And
what was it? Oh man, it's cold out here.
Listen, there's a stark difference between having a love for the game and you're just playing for championships, right? The championships comes with the love for the game. Don't get it twisted, right? Everyone's in there for a ring. They're also in there for a paycheck and because they love the game. Now, I don't know how many years ago, Franklin, maybe you know this, or someone in the chat can possibly tell me.
I doubt if I know it.
How many years ago did this whole leave a team to start a super team thing happen?
With LeBron or just in general?
Drop that in the chat.
With LeBron or in general?
I would say in general. When did leave my team to go start a super team happen? Around what era? Around what year? You don't got to be exact, but just give me some guesses.
I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna give you my guess. I think it goes back to Lakers again. But the Lakers were doing that when Gary Payton, Karl Malone, came on to the Lakers to try to win a championship. Whatever era that was, when Kobe Bryant was there, whatever era that was, that's the first thing I can remember. A bunch of superstars, old superstars that didn't win championships, went on the team to try to win a championship.
You know what? You might be onto something. And that's basically why I respect people like Giannis, right? Because Giannis did it without having a super team. And if you look at, I guess there was a video there was a video of someone asking him a question whether or not he would ever go to yeah, let me see if I can find this. It's
Oh, was it? We did get that good speech? Yo, that was a great speech. I think I know what you're talking about.
no,
That is
someone had asked. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I got it.
Yeah, put that up.
Yeah, I'm about to
She's the
put it
same
up
one I'm thinking about.
right now. It's this one right here.
Oh no, that's not the
Bro,
one I'm
please
talking
come
about.
to the Warriors. Somebody say please come to the Warriors. Hey. Hey. Hey, man. What do you mean by that?
Got it.
Hey, you know what's funny is he never said, "Oh, I would think about it." He was like, "No." They cut out the last part of this and they changed it to this dude. But Giannis said no when at the end of that, as he would never leave his team and go be somewhere else, and just to basically create a super team or something like that. So, like I said, when it comes to understanding the GOAT talk, we can go back how many ever decades you want to go. We could talk about Bill Russell. We could talk about Jordan. We could talk about Kobe. Right now, today, your greatest of all time conceded defeat and didn't give it his all in game 4. And to me, I don't respect it. And that's my take on it.
I hear that, and I think next year it's going to be even tougher for him. Now, I don't know if you noticed that game 4, somebody was sitting in the front row, and I think he had a little bit to do. Now, rumor has it he had a little bit to do with your boy Russell having a kind of a shitty game. Kyrie Irving was sitting in the front row because that may be his. Because Russell's up this year, he's up for free agency. That may be his replacement. Who knows? Okay. But the Lakers can't keep that team. I'm gonna tell you this: I've never, in a million years, thought I'll be saying his name, and I didn't even know I could pronounce it. Hachimura, the black Japanese guy.
Hachimura.
Yo, that guy is going to get paid next year. Reeves is going to get paid next year. They're not going to stay on the team next year, in my opinion, unless the Lakers can convince them, say, 1 year, we give you a small contract so you can win a championship, because those guys are starters. And I don't think LeBron James or the Lakers can keep those guys unless you got a lot of convincing going on. I mean, it's got to be a lot of side deals made to keep those guys because they should be superstars.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. If Kyrie ends up in Los Angeles with LeBron, I don't know. I really don't know. It's something that was on the table last year, but obviously we know now that he's down in Dallas with Luka, which that was a bust. All the hype, no return.
No return, and they didn't even get the guy they wanted to for tanking the season.
Exactly. All right, so now let's get into these stats.
Okay.
Boston. Jayson Tatum averaging 39 minutes a game, 27.8 points, 1 offensive rebound, 9.3 defensive rebounds, 10 on average. Assists, 4.5. Averaging 0.8 steals, 0.8 blocks, turnovers 4. These are terrible. This is what's been hurting Boston this whole series. Jaylen Brown averaging 35 minutes, 16.8 points.
Not enough.
Not enough. Not enough. He should be averaging at least 20. But hey, 16.8, 1.5 offensive rebounds, 4.3 defensive rebounds, 5.8 on average, 3.5 assists. Listen, if you're not scoring, pass the ball. Get some assists.
True story. Yep.
Find someone who's going to score. That's what Brown needs to work on if he can't score. 3.5 assists, 0.5 on the steals, 0 blocks. Play some defense, sir. And turnovers at 3. Mr. Derek White getting some good minutes, 24.3, averaging 11 points. And this is the stark difference between the Heat and the Celtics, right? Look at their non-all-stars. 11 points for White, 11 points for Grant Williams, 11 points for Williams. Caleb Martin's got 16, 17 points.
Yep, and Vincent had 18,
17 points, right? So right then and there, if Tatum and Brown aren't getting all the points, the secondary needs to step up.
True story.
And that's the issue. So, like I said, obviously at home things are going to be very different when it comes to Boston. Obviously they have a lot more to play for. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be focused. They're going to be tenacious. They're going to have the roar of that crowd. So I definitely expect Boston to come out strong. I'm not going to say a blowout, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Celtics by 8.
Ooh, that's a lot. I'm gonna tell you this. I don't know what they're gonna lose by, but they're gonna lose. I don't think they got enough energy, man. It's all about them. They got the talent. By far, on paper, they got the best starting 5 in the league. Maybe if you take even 6 or 7, they got the best.
Mm-hmm.
However, they're not playing with enough passion. Tatum last year in the championship, he didn't play with enough passion, man. You got to take over the game. Now, granted, his stats look great. 27 points, averaging 10 rebounds. I think 4.5 blocks or 4.5 blocks. That's great. The turnovers, that's 4 turnovers per game. Between him and Brown, that's 7 a game from your 2 stars. It can't happen. Can't happen, dog.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. You're not going to win 4 in a row if you have those slow starts like you had in game 4 or like in game 4, right? Even though you won, you guys have to come out the gate strong. And you know what I noticed too? Even with the Nuggets and the Lakers series, there was a couple blowouts earlier in the playoffs, but when it came down to the wire, a lot of these games got close, and it was just enough. Certain teams hung around just enough to possibly win. Like the Lakers could have won game 4.
Oh yeah, of course, easy.
Yeah, easy. But right now, Boston needs to make a statement. This has to be a statement game. If you want to go back to Miami with the momentum, you've got to blow these boys out by like 20 points, 25 points. You have to shut them down so that they feel it in Boston. But if it's just a close game and they're like, man, all right, yeah, we lost in Boston, but we're going to go back home and beat them because it's close, then Boston may be in trouble. So,
agree.
As far as I wanted to get into the odds here for these guys real quick. Here we go. So we've got the odds up now. Make this little increase for you. All right, so the spread. Miami Heat +8. Boston Celtics -8. As far as the over-under, 215.5. Miami Heat's +250 on the money line, -300 on the money line for the Celtics. I'm taking the Celtics by 8. Franklin's saying Miami. What are you guys saying in the chat? Hashtag your point predictions as well as who do you think's going to take Game 5. Let us know in the chat.
I'm going to take it a step further, too. I'm going to give you Butler's going to give you 30. Caleb is going to give you, I'm going to say 15. Vincent's going to give you 20.
Okay.
And Bam is going to give you 25. It's a lot of points between 4 players. They're going to do it, though.
That's a lot of points.
Bam could score way more than what he's scoring right now, in my opinion.
I'm going to go Tatum goes off at home. He's going to give you 40.
40 piece.
Jaylen Brown's going to step up. He's going to get over 20. Marcus Smart, I'll give him about 14 points. White, 10. And I'm going to go Tatum for 5 threes.
Tatum 5 threes? That's doable.
I think Tatum 5 threes. I think he's going to go off.
That's doable. What about Al Horford? What about your boy Horford?
I think he has a follow-up showcase of what he did in Game 4. I think he'll come out again. He'll hit a few threes. I'll give him another 3. He's going to have to do it. He's going to have to come out strong, show that leadership. I give him about 3 threes, 5 rebounds.
That's big.
12 points.
But you know who another player that hasn't really showed up for Boston? And we didn't even mention him one time. Matter of fact, you didn't even mention him on the stats. Brogdon. He is the 6th man of the year. He legit, real talk, could be a starter on some teams. He has to step his game up, man.
Shout out to High Five said 40. This guy's a homer. Are you saying that Jayson Tatum can't hit 40 points? The
He
man's
could
done
definitely
it.
get 40. Yeah, he definitely get 40. Him and Jaylen Brown had 35 apiece in one game.
Right. What are you trying to say, my friend? What are you trying to say? Shout out to High
Did he
Five.
drop like 51 in the playoffs this year?
Yeah, he already dropped 51 in the playoffs,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
that's all.
definitely
Yeah.
doable.
He could definitely do it.
Especially at home when he's got to make a statement. This is going to be a statement game, so that's why I'm thinking he's going to.
And he's not guarding Jimmy Butler. I think he's guarding what? Strauss. So he's not guarding the hardest player on the team. So it's not. He's not like he's exerting a lot of energy. No, he can get 40.
So you also mentioned Brogdon. Now, my thing with Brogdon is for some reason in the last 2 games, he's been really, really hit or miss. I don't know what's going on with him.
MIA.
Yeah, but he's been MIA. No pun intended.
No pun intended. Ooh, got it.
Yeah, he's been MIA, and we're used to seeing Brogdon knock down those big threes and drive to the hole and score, but he just hasn't had that tenacity and that force that he normally has. So he could make a stand. He may I may actually give him the points that I gave Smart, depending on how that goes. They may make some adjustments there.
He's going to have to. In order for them to win this, to go for that 4-0 to win the rest of the series out, he's going to have to step up, dog. Because Jaylen Brown and Tatum can't do it by himself, to be honest with you. I think he's the next best scorer on the team. I think he's the best third option on the team.
Alejandro says he gave that to y'all. He won a win in front of the Boston fans. Jimmy was laughing at the end of the game. Hey, I mean, you feel like he's up, 1 or 3-1. So he's got to keep that smile. Jimmy's always laughing. They'll talk stuff. He'll laugh.
Jimmy buckets. That's
his personality. But I'll tell you this: if Boston wins tomorrow by 20, he's not going to be laughing at the end of that game.
And rumor has it he has Michael Jordan's DNA. Who knew?
Yeah, that's a whole other story. Who thinks Jimmy Butler is actually Michael Jordan's?
Yo, I didn't lie. I seen they put them side by side. Yo, they actually do look alike.
When you start looking at the little details, that big nose,
they do look alike a little bit, man.
Yeah, and that face structure and all that stuff. It's like
he doesn't know his father, and they say Michael was in that area at that time. So who knows?
It's possible. It's possible.
They're about the same height too.
Yeah. Shout out to Alejandro. Says he's won in Boston twice. Give me the Heat in Game 5.
Oh, there it is. I respect it. The only thing I hate about them winning this next game, Miami win this next game, I got no more basketball until June 1st.
Yeah.
So actually, I almost want to see Game 7, but I really don't want to see Game 7 at the same time. Actually, you know what? At this point, I do want to see Game 7. Since I can't watch history, might as well watch the rest of the game, right? Game 7. Let's make a Game 7 now.
Right. Shout out to Christopher Jones coming through with the $1.99 super chat. Thanks a lot.
Shout out Christopher. That's my man. Chris Jones, CJ. Ooh, I like that.
Sir. Shout out to you, Christopher. Thank you for the support, my friend, for the $1.99 super chat. I would get Ric Flair in the house, but he's off for the night.
Ooh, I'll do it for you.
There it is. Franklin's got you. Shout out.
I'm outside. I ain't gonna get in trouble.
Thank you for the support. Shane says Nuggets taking the chip if Heat win. Yeah.
So Nuggets taking the chip regardless. Yeah. Either I don't care which team wins. Nuggets taking the chip.
Regardless,
you can't stop the Joker. Joker can't be stopped, man.
Ooh.
Joker can't be stopped.
You know what? I'm gonna go against the grain here.
Ooh.
I think Horford is the one that could give Jokic some trouble.
I don't know, man.
I think Horford could do it.
I don't know. I've never seen somebody so unathletic in my life that plays as good as he does. The dude, the passing game. Dog, do you realize he scored, I think, was it 9 now, triple doubles? 9?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Wait, then we're not talking about low scoring points either. There's been some triple doubles with 10 and 12 points. We're talking about 30 points,
Yeah. Well,
15, 20 boards.
listen, I'm not denying the Joker at all. At all. This man is a generational
And he's a Hall of Famer.
talent.
And he's a Hall of Famer already, which is crazy. He's a
Listen,
Hall of Famer already because he has 2 MVPs.
This man is bringing the ball back behind his
Behind
head.
his back and his head. Did you
He's
see him
bringing it to
scratch?
his back, right?
Dog.
Like way back here, and just throwing that ball up. Rainbow shots are going in from like 35 feet out. It's absolutely insane.
He scratched his butt when he did it, man. Like, come on, man. Like, the shots were unbelievable. And he made, okay, you know what's crazy about it? If he just made one of them, you're like, it's luck. He's made a couple of those shots. It wasn't just one shot.
No,
He's in the whole series.
He's made a few of those shots.
Dog, that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's his passing game is amazing. He's a Hall of Famer already because he has 2 MVPs, and he's going to get a championship this year, along with the league MVP, MVP for the championship game. Hall of Famer already. Crazy.
So do you think that even though Embiid won the battle, that Jokic is going to win the war by winning Finals MVP in the
All day
trophy?
long? And it's, you know what it reminds me of? Back in the day when David Robertson
Yes, sir.
got the
Admiral.
MVP, and Hakeem Olajuwon deserved it. So when they played, he cooked his ass.
Oh yeah.
A la Hakeem. Well, they're not playing again, but yo, he's giving them the business. I respect this guy. I love the Joker. Really didn't know enough about him before, to be honest with you, but watched him a lot. Again, unorthodox, slow, can't jump, but man, he knows how to use what he has and does a great job with it, man. I respect it.
And you see, that's why I said though. Now, granted, with all the talent that Joker has, I think Al Horford's the one player on the Celtics team that will give him a little bit of a run. And if he can just alter that shot enough, he may be able to keep the Celtics in it if they make it, so that they can potentially go the distance. Shout out to Shane. Says, Franklin Energy, you are a good duo. Yeah, shout out to you, Shane. Franklin's
my man, Shane, I appreciate you, dog. I'm gonna tell you this. You just said if. Hold on. Hopefully we're not got no kids here. But if my mother had balls, she'd be my father. Okay. Ain't no ifs. You know, you heard it back in the day. If was a spliff, we all be high. It's not happening. Boston is not coming back. They're not making history. Finito. They'll be going fishing. We'll be at the docks together somewhere. Get some bass.
Salmon cakes. All right. Well, you've got it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our predictions for Game 5, Celtics versus the Heat. Obviously, I will be streaming the game tomorrow night. So if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel.
I'm gonna sign in too. I'm gonna lock it in. I'm locked in.
And we'll be having some fun tomorrow night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Celtics, Heat, Game 5 in Boston. It's gonna be crazy.
Thank you for having me on the show, Josh. I always appreciate you when you have, the peons of the world hang out with the big bosses like yourself. I appreciate you, dog. I love you, boy.
Nah.
Thank you.
Franklin's being so humble. He is nowhere near. You see this man sitting in front of a prestige building in downtown.
I'm so humble to be on your show, man. I appreciate it. Really, really appreciate it. And I love the energy that you provide, man. And dude, I ain't gonna lie. If they need we need to send this film to somewhere because you need to be on TV, man. You do a great job, dog. I'm real talk. You do a great job, man.
It's all
appreciate
love,
you,
man. I do thank you for that. It's fun. You like a brother to me, man, for real.
Hey, you like a brother to me too, dog. I appreciate you, man.
Shout out to you guys. Much love to the Wrench Gang. Much love to the family. I will see you all tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe. Check out the Franklin Crocker Show as well. Hit him up.
Ooh.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hit that, thumb that, smash that, like Josh says all the time. Do all that, okay? See you when I look at you. Ooh.
Peace out, yo. Oh, yeah. Rest in peace to Tina Turner.
Oh, yeah. R.I.P. Tina.
Yeah,
What's love got to do? Got to do with it. What's love? What is... Yeah, take it easy, y'all.
Yeah, shout out to Tina Turner.
Tina.
Gotta go play her albums tonight. She's definitely She was definitely one of a kind. All right,
Hey.